Good evening. A jury has found 3 Minneapolis men guilty of trying to join ISIS.
The U.S. attorney says they were not wayward kids who were misled by a friend. Rather, he says they made a deliberate decision to join the terrorist organization. The guilty verdicts came down this afternoon. Jurors found Gulad Omar and Mohammed Farah guilty on all counts, including trying to provide support to a terrorist organization. They found Abdirahman Daoud guilty of 3 of 4 counts. They say he did not lie under oath to the grand jury. Esme Murphy's closely been watching this case for really months now, and today it all kind of came to an end.
Absolutely, Frank. Really, this was a knockout blow for federal prosecutors who upped the stakes in this case last fall by adding the charge of conspiracy to travel overseas to commit murder for ISIS. That count alone calls for a sentence of up to life in prison for the 3 defendants, who are ages 22 and 21. In a driving rain, the mother and 2 sisters of Abdirahman Daoud left the courthouse sobbing. They stood surrounded by family and friends, looking shell-shocked at the verdicts. Nearby, a spokesperson for the families expressed their anguish.
The families right now, they are grieving, and they want home. And they told me to convey this message, that they will appeal.
Inside the courthouse, the U.S. attorney said the verdicts were just.
The evidence was overwhelming, that the defendants knew exactly what they were doing, and that is that they were trying to become terrorists, bound and determined to kill for ISIL.
The case is one of the most sweeping terrorism cases in U.S. history. A total of 10 young Twin Cities men were indicted. In addition to the 3 defendants convicted today, 6 pled guilty, and 1, Abdi Noor, a 2013 graduate of Minneapolis Southwest High School, made it to Syria and is widely believed to have died fighting for the terror group last year. But testimony in the trial revealed new information about other Minnesota recruits, including Hanad Moalim from Burnsville and Mohammed Roble from Minneapolis, who used his settlement from the 35W bridge collapse to finance his trip to Syria. Both are believed to have died fighting in ISIS battles. After the verdicts, the attorney for Mohammed Farah said his client was holding up as well as could be expected. And he said the defense team was expecting acquittals on the most serious charges of conspiracy to commit murder.
If you look at the actions of the other co-defendants that testified against our clients and the others that pled guilty, there isn't much of a difference between what other people have done and what my client is alleged to have done. So for that reason, we're disappointed.
Testimony by 3 members of the conspiracy, including one who had been paid $119,000 by the FBI for secretly recording his friends, inflamed tensions throughout the trial. U.S. Attorney Andy Lugar called the resulting threats against families and ejections from the courthouse as unheard of. But Lugar left his strongest words for the friends and families of the defendants and people who he said call themselves community leaders, but continue to deny that terror recruiting exists and is a major problem here in Minnesota.
It is.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah, there was so much evidence. It was a long trial. Was there anything that was the tipping point, anything that stood out?
You know, I don't think for me, watching the evidence, there was any one thing. What it was is that there were layers of evidence, layer upon layer. If you chose not to believe the cooperating witnesses, there were the secret recordings. There were the travel records. If you didn't buy those, there was a video of 2 of the defendants gleefully accepting fake passports. There was simply, Frank, just an overwhelming amount of evidence in this case.
And some of it was pretty graphic when they were looking at these videos of beheadings and murders and that type of thing.
Gruesome ISIS videos were introduced here because you could hear the defendants talking, at times even laughing about them. So that allowed the prosecution to bring in these horrific videos. Obviously, that certainly helped the prosecution.
Sure. All right, Esme. Thank you.